Hello, nice to see you. It's Donna here. Welcome back, or welcome if you are new. First things first, the most important thing I wanted to show you is a freebie for you all. I have tried to get the camera as high as possible, but I still can't fit it in because it's vertical. So I'm just going to do it like this and slide it. So I have put up on my Kofi a Kofi freebie. It's one sheet. This is the one for everyone, and it's a sheet of these kind of vintage style discs for you to print and use as you wish. They measure the widest point just under 5.5 centimetres, which is about 2 inches, and they're oval, by 6 centimetres, which is about 2.25 inches. So they are substantial in size. Obviously you can resize those if you want them smaller. So this is a freebie for everybody. I'll show you once again. That's available now, and you can go and help yourself to that. And what I have also been busy doing is setting up a Kofi membership. And you might remember a couple of weeks ago I had put up a video saying somebody had on their own back contributed like a monthly payment through Kofi, and I wasn't really sure how it was all going to work, whether that was something that I had to kind of set myself, this, that and the other. I didn't really know, but I've been looking into it, and the only way that I can offer member only downloads is to actually set up a membership tier. If I don't do that, then I have to leave links for Google Drives, and I'm not really sure how to do all that. The link I use, I'm not sure if it worked. This, it goes on. The problems go on. So I have now set up a membership tier on my Kofi. If you had already contributed that to that £2 monthly donation, you have been automatically moved to that tier. I've made it the same price, and it's just one tier, and it's £2 per month, and that way I can offer Kofi member downloads as well as Kofi downloads for everybody, if that makes sense. So this is the Kofi download for everyone. If you are a member, or if you would like to join membership, I have also added some additional downloads this month. Now this is what I call an ink saver. I've done a really light background. This one is what I call dark. So vintage discs dark, I think I've called it. This is for Kofi member, so the £2 tier membership. This one's for you. So it's the same discs, but you also get the dark background. So if you were wanting to leave a border, you've already got that there rather than having to reback it onto something. I have also, because you are a member, I've also resized these ink saver ones and the dark ones and put 2 to a page to make them smaller. Now obviously these ones, like I said, for everybody, you can resize those yourself, but for paying members, people who are in the membership, I've done the work for you. So I've put those on a double page, or I've done a double page spread of those, 2 to a page. I have also done, you also get Kofi members this month, some hands and clock images. And again, I've made those smaller for you as well. So all of those are available on my Kofi at the moment. Please don't feel any obligation to join the membership. It's entirely up to you. I'm not showing this to try and guilt trip you into joining. It's just obviously I wanted to make those who are members aware of what I've done and what's available to you this month. So that is those. And the second thing I wanted to just show you quickly and also then do a little bit of a project with is my new file folder kit. So I shall move those out the way and I will bring this in and I'm going to check if you can see. Okay, you should be able to see the whole of that on screen now. Okay, so this is my new kit. I haven't printed the cover page, but I have uploaded the cover page into the zip file should you wish to print it out. And you know, some people like to print it and use elements of it, and that's fine. So this is the new kit. You get 4 pages. So there's 2 pages where I have designed a file folder and ephemera and decorative bits to go with it. So there's this one, and there's also this one. So again, lots of different ephemera bits, things that you can stick on it, in it, labels, tags, stamps. And in addition to those, you also get 2 pockets, some extra kind of labels and some larger labels, some extra tabs, and you get a page of fussy cuts and some extra more blanks and some extra labels and some little bases here. Ignore that, I think I spilt some water on it, but yours doesn't have that on. So that's that. And then in addition, you get 3 backing papers. So this is one. This is the other, which is much darker. Well, not much darker, but it's just darker. You can see the comparison. And there is a third, which is similar to this, possibly a little bit lighter, but it doesn't have the splodges on. And I will insert a photo of that one because I haven't actually printed that out because I only needed the backing for these. So I thought what we would do today is have a bit of a play with the kit. Now, when I was printing out my testers and my proofs, I can't say that word, proofs, my proof, I kind of quickly put together one of the file folders. So this is what it looks like. So it's this page here. The tabs are inside, these tabs are inside, so you get a nice width there. This is the tab and the filed and this little label here, agenda and the number, and this label here. I use this label here and I wrapped it around, and then on the back I've popped this as like I thought it looked maybe like a bit of like a library pocket or something, I don't know, or an office, something to do with an office, and then I put that one on the inside. So the only one I haven't used particularly on this is this red pencil sharpener one. So this one I kind of felt like was quite writing based. So it's got like public library, like drafting, papers, travel, numbers, that's like a pencil sharpener advertisement. So this I thought was quite kind of writing based. So that I've kind of used all together. This one is more kind of travel based. So I've kind of faded these out a little bit, but there's lots of like adverts, tea merchants, what else have we got? Number 59 4th Street, book and job, something or other, sale factory. So I felt like it was more advertisement and travel based, and because of the tea merchants here, I kind of went along the lines of tickets, destination. This is something to do with Edinburgh travel, and that says board and tuition. So that, again, that's to do with travelling, going somewhere. We've got the stamp, we've got some numbers, and we've got some tabs here. So I think we'll have a play with this one today. And then obviously we can use these elements here. So because, for example, I felt like this was quite writing based, I've included some hands, I've included some typewriters, and obviously the disc freebies as well would go nicely. I've also included, that looks like writing here. And because this is like more kind of travel based, I've got like a telegraph chart here, this here, some birds, some Las Vegas and a stamp here. So various different things that you can do. Now the thing that I like most about this kit is that it actually gives you loads of variety. You don't just have to use it together. Any of this can be used to complement things you've already got, put onto other projects, mixed and matched. You know, you can just make ephemera, you can make clusters by using these elements. You could just use that's the sheet I'm looking for. You could just use the pockets and put them into your journal. You could do a top loading pocket, a side loading pocket. You can cut the corner off. There's so many things that you can do. So I did try hard to design something that was versatile, where you would get your money's worth, and that you could print over and over again to use in your different paper crafts. So that is all that. So I think what we'll do is get started with it. Just one more thing before we start. I just wanted to show you this pocket. My ink was running out, but I have sized it so the pocket will fit this way across the file folder. Okay, so enough waffling on, let's get started. My first job is to get all of these bits cut out, so I'll do that off camera and then we'll put it all together. I'm back, I've got all my ephemera and tag bases in here cut out, all my fussy cutting done, all of my labels are done, and I cut out a file folder. I've already scored just to save time. I cut out both pockets and scored both. I'll probably just use one, but those are ready to go. And I'm just going to show you quickly the best way that I found to cut out these tabs so that they're equal on both sides. And what I've been doing is popping them onto a scoreboard and scoring down the middle first, then folding it and then cutting both sides together. And that will mean that even if you go wonky or wrong on one side, they'll both be wrong. So at least they'll be equal. And then just cut. You can either use a craft knife. I have been using a craft knife, but I'll just do it like this. Just cut it out. So then either you can cut these by hand, or if you've got a tiny circle punch, you can just pop your punch in and cut it out like that. And just open it back up again. Okay, so I mean they actually look quite good as tickets, don't they? So that's with the hole punch. It's a little bit more round. This is when I finish. This one is when I followed the natural curve that was already there. You could just round that bit off, but you know, this is just being very nitpicky now. But yeah, I'm all good to go. The only thing I didn't cut out is the other page, because I'm not going to use that today, and I didn't cut out any more of these because I didn't think I would need them. I also haven't inked because I will do that as and when I feel I want to. So I've scored along the middle. Now that should fold in half and meet. Okay, if it doesn't, if you haven't quite folded it straight or cut it straight, just give it a wiggle until it does. I've scored along here and along here, and they will just fold in like that. Okay, and that forms your file folder. Now, the way they've been designed is so that this front bit meets the top of this bit. You can leave it like that if you want to. It's what I did on here. I just stuck them together, the tops met. Or, on which I'm going to do today, just to show you, is you can fold that over or cut it down to make it shorter so that you see some of the back. So I am actually going to do that. I'm not going to cut it, I'm going to fold it because I think it will make it stronger. So I'm just going to bring this scoreboard in again. And I think, I'm just going to bring it down by about half an inch. No, I'm going to do 1/4 of an inch for now. And then I can always make that bigger if I want to. I'm just going to fold that over. You don't need to score it, you can just fold it. It just makes it a little bit easier sometimes if you're dealing with thicker card. You score it. Okay, so that leaves that much of it showing. You could go down a little bit further. It's entirely up to you. I think I might go down another 1/4 of an inch, so that I'll do half an inch in total. Pop that back on. But again, you don't need to score this. You can just eyeball it and fold it. Okay, so I think I'm going to do mine like that. Now, where we've folded it here, all I'm going to do is cut that off and just angle it back like that. And then that will still fold in. Okay, and because it's backed and because we've folded it, even if you're doing that, once you open it, it's still got pattern there. You can't see any white, so it's still going to look nice and neat. So that is how I'm going to do mine today. Again, there's lots of different variations. You could bring it right down. Even if you wanted, you could do like a kind of slant. If you wanted to cut it like that and make more like a pocket, you could do that. So that is that. So next thing I'm going to do is ink all around this. I'm going to ink both tabs because I want one there and I want one there like that. So I'm going to do that off camera. I am going to use Distress Oxide in Ground Espresso, and I'll be back shortly. I'm inked and I want to stick it together now. So I did just angle these as well because they were getting in the way a little bit. So we're going to stick this down. I'm going to use a Pritt stick rather than wet glue so that I don't wet the paper too much. So I'll stick this down first. Give it a good squish. And just use that to make sure it's nicely stuck. And then I'm going to put glue down here and glue down here. How have I managed? Look, this is my life. Ink. How? How? Honestly. I'm literally covered all day, every day in ink. Right. And I'm going to glue these together, making sure that they meet up on the corners. Press them down. Give everything a good squish and a good burnish. I like to push everything out this way to stop it from gaping in the middle, just to make sure it's all stuck where I want it. And perhaps I should have put my tabs on first, but never mind. Okay, so that's that done. I am going to put one of these here. I mean, all this goes together, so you don't really need to think about it too much. You know, the idea is that the thinking's been done for you, and you can just get on with crafting. Because I love making things from scratch, like those tickets I did the other day. I love that. I think it's all part of crafting. It's something I really enjoy. But, you know, let's face it, sometimes we just want to do the final product, or we want something that's done the hard work for us. I do anyway. And that's when kits come in good. Make sure that's on straight. Let's get this one down. Okay, looking like that so far. Right, let's maybe decorate some tags and put a little pocket on. Now I think I might want a pocket that goes on the back to hold some tags, and I'm thinking of using one of these to make a tuck spot on the front like that, so it could sit there, and then we could put like a tab in there like that, and we could put some tickets coming out. So we could do that with some labels. Anything goes really. Or we could just decorate it actually, couldn't we? Or we could have it like this, and we could have some tickets coming out. So much that you could do. We could put, that would fit in there. We could put a little label on there and have it coming out. Or we could just, or we could have it, there's so many possibilities. We could have we could have a pocket there coming out. Now that looks quite pretty, doesn't it? Not pretty. It's not supposed to be pretty, Donna. It's scrungy. Or we could do it that way, which looks good. We could put a hole through there and put like a charm or something on. I like that. So as you can see, there's just so many possibilities with this kit. We got, now in that other kit, we've got some little words which I quite like. And this is where the mixing and matching comes in. Because you can mix and match to your heart's content with this kit. So what I might do is either use one of those words, or, what's this, destination. Perhaps something like that with some brads. Could you use that there? I'm going to have a think. Let me have a think off camera and show you what I come up with so that you're not watching me move bits of paper around. But as you can see, there's so many different possibilities that we can do just about anything. I've decided on something a little bit like this. I'm going to stick these 4 bits onto here first because I want to stick this down in a particular way. So the first thing that needs gluing down is this label here, and up to about there, so not all the way. I'm going to keep it on there so I know the positioning. Okay, then we have the bird. All I've done is gone around in some of the Gran Espresso and just very lightly in antique linen, just to give it some depth on this creamy bit. The same on the bird and the same on this number 1 as well. So I kind of want that there, which means I want the bird about here. And I pinch this word collected from the other page. Okay, I think that's it, and then I'll move that. So it's there, that's it. Right, don't move. Let's put you on first. Let's leave the bird where it is. So these are all stuck on, and my options are to glue 1, 2, 3 and to make a pocket there and use this tag to have like a dangle or a charm, or I could do it the other way and make a pocket here with, you know, something else like, I don't know, what could go in there, anything. I think I quite like the idea of having this hanging out. So I want this tag to sit about there. Yeah. So it needs to be glued on. About there. I'm just going to make myself a little mark. Tiny, but I can see it. Okay, so I'm going to glue 3 sides, but I'm not going to glue that one. I'm going to try and get quite close to the edge here because I want to allow as much depth as possible. Find my mark. I can go up a bit. So for this side, I think I'm going to use one of these larger red ones and fold it over to tie the red in for now. And then I may stamp it with something a little bit in a little while. So let's get this inked. And I'm just going to add some vintage linen again, just with what's on my brush. Just gives a little bit of dimension to this white. Well, it's not white, it's like an off-white. I actually quite like white. I like white negative space, but for this I do want it a bit darker. So let's us glue that down. So that's on there, like so. And you can go as mad as you want with this. You can, you can make extra tucks and flips and goodness knows what else if you want to. And I want to add a pocket. Now, as it stands at the moment, for me, that pocket seems a little bit too tall. I still want to see a bit of this red here. And I want to be able to see at the top of things. It just, again, it depends what you want. If you've got, for example, a piece of paper that you want folding up and popping in. Let me get one. I haven't got anything. So you've got a piece of paper like this and you just want to pop it in and you don't want it coming out again. You might want a pocket that high. The only reason I don't is because I want to see some of the red. So again, what you could, adapt it to suit whatever you're doing, whatever you're going to be using your pockets for, whatever you're going to be using the file folder for. I think I want to just take that down a notch. So yeah, I'm going to take it down by about ½ inch. I'll do £1/4 inch and then I'll see how I get on. Again, you don't have to score it, it just makes life a little bit easier. So that would sit there like that. And yeah, I'm happy with that. All I wanted to see was a little bit of the red, that's all. So I am going to do what I did last time. Let's get rid of this out of the way. I'm going to angle these. I'm going to stick this down. Then I'm going to stick that onto there. Now, if you don't want a deep pocket, if you just want a pocket that is will fit something thinner, you can always cut these flaps off. You don't necessarily need them. They're just there, in case you do. But again, use this kit to suit you. Adapt it, change it, cut it down, mix and match. Be as creative as you want with it. And if you use it and you've got any pictures or you have an Instagram account, tag me. I'm on Instagram now, Create Design Studio. I'd love to see what you come up with. Okay, so there's our pocket there. I forgot to ink, so I'm just going to gently lift that to get that inked. Push that back down again. Ink around there. I really like this similar colour between the pocket and the folder. Okay, that's that done. So I'm going to pop that to one side for the moment. I'm going to let it dry and I'm going to work on some journaling cards. Now I think I'm going to use this one. It's already backed for me. I don't need to do anything on there unless I want to. I want something that's going to fit in there. That does. I'll be able to see that. That looks nice, and I like that red tick. There's a red tick showing there, and I like that because it ties the red in, so I'm going to do that. I keep going over there for some reason. I'm ever so sorry. I'm in one of those all over the place moods, I think. It's already back, so I don't need to do anything to it. It's on the back. I do want to round the corners. I think I'll use the 7 centimetres. And I do want to put a little bit of ink around there. I'm just going to use what's already on my, I'll just use what's already on my ink pad, but this doesn't seem to be that much. So I am going to ink around. And looking at it now, what I think I might do, because I've rounded these, I may just do a very small corner there, because I think it'd look nice, and I can't because I've stuck the tag on. I wonder if my other one would. I was going to say I think it would look nice, and it will just stop it from getting dog-eared. I don't think it's going to fit. No, it hasn't really, so I can do that. That's fitted. Why is that not going in? It's not doing this side because of that tab that I've put on. I'm just going to tidy that up. There we go. We'd never know, would we? Yeah, quite like that, with the rounded corners. I suppose I could have rounded those if I wanted to, if I thought about it. That's something for you to think about. So there is my my journal card. Now, do I want to put anything on it? I mean, to be honest, I think it's fine the way it is. I don't want anything too bulky, although there is plenty of room in here now that's dry. It will fit something extra on it if you wanted to. What I think I may do is use a stamp or one of these elements and put it in there. I could use the number 2 maybe. I could do the number 2 like that, and then on the back I could do the number 3. So then it's 1, 1, 2, 3. Shall I do that? I like that idea. Let's do that. So I'm going to quickly just ink around, get rid of any whiteness there. And the back sides don't matter because they're going to be stuck together. So number 2. Right. And in the middle, let's check. Yep. And then let's stick number 3 here. Lovely, I love that. And I honestly don't feel like it needs much more. Put a label. I could put a little label, so then the label when you pull it out is on this side. I just like to give, I don't know why I'm working over there, I'm sorry. I just like to give a little bit of continuity between the different elements. So if I've done something over here, I like to do the same thing over there. And I know it's in a pocket, but I think it just makes all the difference when you lift it out. I can tell I've got some ink on my fingers because it's starting to get everywhere, so I might have to go and give my hands a quick wash. I'm back, clean. And squash that down so I don't get more ink on me. Okay, so that is for in there. Loving that, like that a lot. So that's what we're looking like on the back. Right, next I want to do something with this tag because I want this tag to go in there. I want to put an eyelet in so I can put like a dangle, a charm. And I also want to back it because this was on one of the papers. It was on one of the ephemera papers that I didn't back. So I am going to find something to back it with, which will go with this. I could use the pocket if I wanted to. I could use, could actually use this. Oh look, these are my proof ones. When I was printing them out. Right, let me go and find something. I'm going to go find something to back this in, probably just a scrap. I found this. I think I'm going to stick that down and do maybe like a little bit of a collage. I'm just going to put glue all over the tag. And it very nearly covers it actually. So I might be able to get away with just like a little bit of washi tape there. See what I've got. I might use some of this over the top because it's really interesting and it will help blend. Oops. It will help blend this white in with the bit that's got the gap. So pop that there. Making sure, now think about this, Donna. It's going to be this way up. That's it. So it's going to be at the top. Okay, so I'm going to put some of that down. Can just rip it a little bit to... Oh, that's interesting as well, isn't it? It's going to rip it down a little bit so it's not quite as... this line's not quite as rigid. Blend it in a bit more. Right, so that can go there. And then I think along here I might just take one of these lines. This is, again, I say this all the time, I cannot get enough of pattern paper. It just blends everything together. So I could do that like that. Yeah, that would look nice. It blends everything together. It hides a multitude of sins. It looks cool. It gives texture. It gives interest. You just can't go wrong with it, honestly. If you can get hold of some, I'd really, if it's one thing I would say, like, you know, if I could give some piece of advice about paper types or equipment or, you know, things, I would say, if you can, get hold of some of this, because it's brilliant. Let's just chop this off. Apart from the fact that it gets stuck everywhere, I'm just going to cut the straight lines, because once it's dry I can go back over with my corner rounder and just chop as carefully as I can around here. And I think I will leave that white. I will just put a little bit of antique linen onto there. I'm going to put a little bit of this on. Just takes that white down. Not too much. Now, I've kind of cheated a little bit here. I did say I was going to use the kit only. So what I should have done really is, thinking about it, I should have used one of the backing papers, but no, not to worry. So only this, it was just only a scrap of paper, so I've not cheated too much. So that's again. No, I'm going to dry it off so that I can do my corner rounding before I ink. Okay, that's dried. So now, corner round. I think, what did I use? I think I might have used the middle one. Okay. Now I can ink. How lovely that espresso is, ground espresso. I absolutely love this colour. I'm just going to pay attention to these bits here, those bits that are going to be sticking out. Kind of get into the corners. I'm going to pierce a hole and then use my crocodile to set the eyelets. And then that will go in there, like that. I'm not going to put anything in there. I might make a charm or like a dangle for it. So that's what it looks like. Turning over, I really like that lighter coloured paper actually, with the back here. So options are either stick something onto here or leave it, because that's actually a really nice place for journaling. Because what I will actually like to do is do some journaling about when I made this, how I made it, you know, the process. So personally, I'm going to leave that blank. You could obviously decorate it up however you want. For this pocket on the back, I think I want to stick that typewriter there because I want to put the date, today's date of when I've made this, or, you know, the date of when I designed it. And then I want to kind of make like a layered journaling card situation to go in here. So that it pokes out like that maybe. So let me round these two edges and let's do 7. It's just on the wrong edge. Let's just do them all. So that would show there with that. And I thought the labelled could kind of go here. And then that ties in the black with the black label on the front. So it would kind of sit something like that. I could put a little eyelet in there, or at least punch a hole. And then that could be used as a little journaling card then, and then I could just do something on the back. So I think that's what I'll do. So again, I'm going to do my inking off camera. I will ink this, I will ink all around here. I will glue it down. You don't need to see me glue it down. And then I'll show you what I'm going to do on the back. So I've glued these together to make this tag. Inked around, used a bit of the antique linen on the front. And then on the back, I just stuck some more of that pattern paper, and I had a bit of the lined paper left as well. Just pop that on the back just for some continuity, and I've decided that's actually going to go on that side, and then that can go there, and then it's on the opposite side to that bird. So I am next going to, and I'm going to put that there because that ties the red in nice. This is the one I've just found. I'm going to put that there, and then I've got like all the reds going on. That's going to go there, and then the only thing left to do is to find something to dangle from our tag. This is what we're looking like. I've stuck these two things down. That is going to go in there. And the only thing left to do is to find something to go in here, which at the moment I can't put my hands on anything. So I'm going to call that done for now, and we will have a final look. Here is our completed file folder using only the kit, apart from that tiny bit of scrap paper on the back of the tags. So we have our file folder here with journaling tag there, goes in the front. We have a pocket here with our tag for writing. Then turning over, we have our journaling card here with our space on the back. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I've really enjoyed making that. As I say, you can keep going on this. I could keep adding extra elements and stamping. I could stamp something here. You know, keep going as much as you want. You know, there's loads of things that you can do. I can pop some tags in there if I wanted to. Or I could pop some tags in here. It's, you know, limitless. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you to anyone who's ever purchased any kits, who's ever watched a video, liked a video, subscribed, all of those things. It's a massive help and it's greatly appreciated. And I will see you next time. Take care of yourselves. Have a lovely rest of your week. Happy crafting, and I'll see you soon. Bye.